Hi guys, so today's video I wanted to do a few new drugstore reviews. First of all, everybody is talking about this Halo Glow by e.l.f. So I finally picked it up. This is meant to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Glow foundation. It's meant to be like a glowy primer underneath your skin. And I also bought this. I didn't realise when I bought it because it literally was just called Complexion Filter Finish, so I thought it would be a dupe for the Revolution in Real Life Filter foundation, but it's not. It is a primer. I was originally going to do a comparison of each of these to the Charlotte Tilbury, but considering everyone's doing that, I thought I'd do a comparison of both of these. They're both in glass bottles, and they each have, this has 30 millilitres, this has 31.5 millilitres, so they almost have the same amount of millilitres. So I thought I'd prime these under my face. I also have the Brow Lift by e.l.f. I don't normally use jelly kind of brow products. I saw how fluffy this makes brows look, and I've tried it a couple of times, so I figured I would try it on camera for you guys. And lastly, the new Rimmel Mascara. I used to be a huge Rimmel lover. Like when I was between 12 to... Don't mind that the window's open, you can hear the seagulls outside communicating. Yeah, I used to be a huge Rimmel lover. I used to use nothing but Rimmel. Easily like 10 years. I only used to use their products, and their mascaras were one of my favourite products. And I haven't used one of their mascaras in years, so I thought this would be really interesting. This is called Thrill Seek. It has the brush that I tend to prefer, so I am genuinely quite excited about it. I'm also going to let you know how everything fares during the day. I'm only going to the cinema today just because I wanted something to do. So yes, I'm going by myself because sitting in a dark room watching a movie, like, it doesn't really make a difference if you're sitting next to someone. At least you'll get like a easily 8-hour wear test. So let's get you in so you guys can see me apply these. e.l.f. I got in shade Fair, obviously. This says it's infused with squalane and hydraulic acid. This glow booster creates a skin enhancing soft focus effect for effortless radiance. It's the only filter you'll ever need. You can wear it alone, under or over makeup, mixed with foundation or as a highlighter. Apply to desired areas and blend into skin. So I'm actually just going to put it all over my skin. And then the Complexion one, which is called, this is the Filter Finish Complexion Boosting Primer and Illuminator. Because that just looks like a foundation bottle, right? If it doesn't say primer at the bottom, you would just expect this foundation, but it's not. Multi-use illuminator, primer and skin perfector. 3 uses, gives a soft focus dimension under foundation. Dot and blend onto cheeks and high points of face as highlighter. Wear on its own for a subtle all-over glow. So literally they say they do exactly the same thing. This is the brush I've been using for like putting on these kind of glowy primers. This is the Catrice, this is like a Catrice foundation. So the e.l.f. one has a bigger doe foot. This is like a Revolution kind of doe foot. And I think it's darker than the Complexion one. Well, this makes a huge difference because I'll be putting it under foundation. I originally thought these glowy things when I bought the Charlotte Tilbury one was an actual foundation. I was very disappointed. But now I'm kind of getting used to using these more often. Hopefully I'll actually use that Charlotte Tilbury one because that was expensive. We're just going to blend this out. So I just kind of pat it into the skin. I mean, it does give a bit of coverage, but I wouldn't go out like this. I'd have to put a powder foundation over the top or something. Because I've got the glare light on this side, I'm just going to do this so you guys can see a little bit. I will show you everything in natural light after my makeup's on, if you can see a difference. But most people aren't going to use this on its own. So, and then you can see how much smaller, it's a much smaller doe foot. I'm going to put about the same amount on. Get a tissue and just kind of wipe off as much. Just again, kind of blend and swipe. Okay, this one looks a lot shinier. Let me turn that off. So this is the e.l.f. side in complete natural light. And this is the Complexion side in natural light. This is so shiny. It just looks like highlight. looks like a foundation that's got some glow. No wonder I look so shiny. This one still has some glow. I'll put on everything bar brows and mascara, and so I can come back and show you how my face is after I've put on all of my makeup. So in case you were interested, I put on my Essence Pretty Natural foundation. I've really been enjoying this recently. Under my eyes, I actually used two products. I used this like colour corrector by Charlotte Tilbury because I've found that this Huda Beauty concealer really settles into my fine lines. I figured I'd try putting a corrector on, so I'd use a lot less of this, and I'm still having issues. So that was kind of one of my last ditch attempts with this one. I don't know if it's just because I accidentally got a really light shade. Powder, I used my Rimmel Mascara Perfection. I used my Too Faced, it's like Sweethearts bronzer. Yeah. I used the She Glam Sun Sculpt Cream Contour. Highlighter, I actually used a mix. I used the On the Cusp by Colourpop, and I used right on the tip of my cheekbone. I used Flexitarian because I'm really worried these are eventually going to dry up, and they're so pretty. Like, I forget how amazing cream highlighters are. I need to use them more often. Blush, I actually used Too Faced again. I used Love Flush. This is in California Love. And then on the eyes, I used a new palette. This is Juvia's Place, the Taupes palette. Just a bunch of gorgeous cool tones that I'm obsessed with. I literally just used these two shades in my crease just to create some definition. Brows, I've currently only put my pencil in, and I use Pony Effect. Next is the Brow Lift. Last couple of times I've used this, I've used it with powder foundation, and I put it on before I put foundation on, so hopefully this still works. I've got the Applicator, Brow Lift Applicator, which has like a little spatula, and the brush. The brush is, I'm not gonna lie, kind semi-flimsy. Like, I feel like I need a stiffer brush for brushing through my brows. I'm gonna take literally like so small an amount, and what I've seen people do, which I actually like the idea of, is using the lid as a palette. So you just sort of take off what's on there, and then you use this to literally rub it into Boulet, and then you apply it. I'm not gonna lie, it has made my brows look fluffy. I don't want to brush through too much just because I have noticed that it can get kind of, not clumpy, but my brows tend to stick together, and I want them super fluffy like this. We'll have to see how, if they actually hold them up. I've got very long brow hairs, so I want to see if this actually holds up my brow hairs whatsoever. What I'm most excited for. My lashes, to give this a fighting chance. Does it say, oh, if it did say anything, it's protected by a security thing. Really big voluminous lashes. So I haven't opened this yet. It's actually skinnier than I thought it would be. I love these kind of ones. I will say the bristles are very, very, very short compared to like Lash Princess. Let me turn this light on so you guys can see better. I feel like my face is slightly in shadow. Okay, so that's one coat. It's honestly not bad whatsoever. I'll give it a second dip. Okay, so this is one coat. It's very lengthening. It's not super, super, super volumizing, but it does give you a bit of volume. I feel like on the second coat it'll give me a lot more volume. This is like a very natural, like if you could get this in brown, I feel like it would look like you have just very natural, fluttery, Valentine's Day-ish lashes. Also, I'm getting like a few clumps here and there, but I think I get that with L'Oreal Lash Princess too. This has given me a lot of volume on the second coat. You can see here. So, all in all, at the moment, these two on my skin. At the moment, everything looks very smooth. My brows look very fluffy. The Thrill Seeker by Rimmel. I don't know if it's cheaper than L'Oreal Paradise, but it does just as good a job. This next one has 10mm in it. The Rimmel one has 8ml. This Revolution one, this is from like the Marilyn Monroe collection, has 6ml. Wow. You would not expect this has less. I also didn't particularly like this mascara. It just shows that packaging doesn't always mean you get more product. Kiko Extra Sculpt has 11ml. This is one I use quite often. It's kind of on the same par, but it is a few milliliters less. It's just something to keep in mind of. I'm pretty happy with the product so far, but I'll show you in proper natural light. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like in natural light. Obviously the highlight is my highlighter, but in the middle here, not my nose, but the rest of it is the primers, because I powdered the whole of my face. I think it looks nice. I'll show you at the end of the day what everything looks like. Hey guys, so it is now after 6 o'clock and I've had both of these primers on for I want to say at least 9 hours. So how have they fared? I really don't think that looks bad. You like up close and personal. Rubbed off a bit around my nose, but that's because I was wearing my glasses while I was driving and in the cinema. And then this side, I honestly think it looks really good. My bronzer, blush, highlight, everything's pretty much in place, and it was really warm. I was sitting in my car in traffic on the way back from the cinema, in South End traffic, because it was like 1:30 by the time I got out, and yeah, it was really busy. Which, by the way, the film, if you're interested, I watched Bullet Train and it was easily the best movie I've seen in a while. The only movie I'm considering going to re-see in cinema. It was that good. My brows have fallen a bit. As you can see here, they're starting to fall. This one's not too bad, but this one definitely starting to fall. Mascara. Looks good, hasn't fallen. I did see one flake, but no, it looks good. Pretty impressed, considering I haven't tried a Rimmel mascara in fucking ages. So, both primers, very good. Brow gel, I think it's better for short periods of time, but if you want all out, all day wear, yeah, no, I would say the Benefit or the NYX Control Freak. And the mascara is really nice. It has a few clumps, but I give it a pass. I think it's good. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give this a like and subscribe if you feel like it. I'd really appreciate it. I have just ordered the Il Makiage Kathleen Lights collection, so I'll make sure to do a review of that very soon. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!